Hello everyone, and welcome to the TalentHut TESOL Academy Teachers Podcast, where we bring together educators, innovators, and leaders as well, who are shaping the future of English language teaching. I'm your host, Nofakad, and today I'm truly honored to be speaking with Dr. Rasha, an outstanding educator and leader whose work bridges classroom teaching, teacher training, and educational innovation. In this episode, we will explore her professional journey, her leadership philosophy, and her insights on teacher development, AI in education, and the evolving role of educators in a rapidly changing world. Let's dive right in and get inspired by Dr. Rasha's remarkable journey, of course. Hello, Dr. Rasha. How are you
Hi,
doing?
how are you? How's everything? Thank you, for having me, and it's a great pleasure to be with you on your podcast. Thank you very much. I appreciate it so much.
Thanks. Me too, as well. Dr. Rasha, let's start first with your professional journey. We can say, impactful educator has a story that shapes their passion and purpose. So, could you start, first of all, by telling us about your early journey in education and what initially inspired you, we can say, to pursue teaching?
Okay, that's a very interesting question because initially, as I started my educational journey, I didn't intend to be a teacher, to be honest. Okay, so I studied modern languages, both English and Italian, literature and languages. So I was, my intention was to work for with tourism, with tourists and so on. So what has happened is that after getting married, so life would be hard. You will have a husband, you will have children, and so on. So I came here to UAE, and I started looking for a job. And so I decided to be a teacher. At the beginning, I didn't like the profession that much because, as I told you, that wasn't, again, an intentional position for me. I had different plans, but subhanAllah, God has also different plans for me. So I started teaching in 2004. During that time, I discovered that I love the kids. And I started, using different classroom strategies and motivating my students, creating special activities for them. And so this is how, I progressed and I elevated myself as a teacher. Later on, I found out that I need to support my educational pedagogies and practices with something solid, something that would raise up my level of teaching. And so I decided to pursue, different degrees. I started by taking my celta. That was in 2018. So I got the celta. After that, then I decided to join University of Nottingham, where I finished my postgraduate certificate. That was during COVID.
Oh,
Later on, yeah,
it was online?
yeah,
It was
yeah,
done online? Right.
yeah, it was done online, yeah. After that, I like the idea that I can transfer the credit hours of what I have done from PGCI into a master's degree. So I said, wow, let's do it. So I honed my skills and I harnessed myself and I said, okay, now we need to do a kind of transitional thing and studying, which is, pursuing the master's degree. And later on, okay, I didn't stop. I told myself, okay, I finished the master's. Now I have the master's. There's something great. So I think I need to do something else in education because I call myself as a long life learner. Learning cannot be, let's say, defined by age or let's say by gender or by any, let's say, barrier. You shouldn't stop. Since you have breath and you have the potential and the ability, let's say, to excel, so go ahead and follow your dreams. So I decided to go with my doctorate degree. And alhamdulillah, finally, now I'm on my third year, almost, let's say, 6 months away from finishing my dissertation. So basically, I'm on the fourth chapter. So almost, I'm at the final stages. And then, you cannot imagine that I spent around 18 years teaching in one school. Okay. Yeah, where I juggled between elementary, middle, high school. That was in the private sector. Then I decided to join the public sector. There was a kind of, a very big transformation for me regarding, let's say, the mode of work, students-wise, even curriculum. So after that, I told myself, listen, okay, maybe later on, and this is one of the reasons why I'm pursuing my doctorate, I want to start teaching at universities. Although I'm teaching online at one of the universities, but I'm giving business courses and leadership courses for senior students. So
Impressive.
that's in brief, my educational journey or what inspires me to do.
That's really impressive, by the way, because you have tried, or we can say you have taught different ages.
Yeah,
So that must have been very, let's say, very nice that it has given you that enough experience in
true.
all, you can say, all ages. So, and
Mm.
also you have mentioned that you have worked with both private and public.
Mm.
So if you want to say which one is difficult, more difficult, and why?
I won't say which one is more difficult. I would say each one of them, has positives and has negatives. Okay. I won't say that, for example, one is more difficult than the other.
Mm.
In terms, for example, let's say of resources, okay, you would say that here, of course, in UAE, the case is different, unlike our countries, no, and countries around the world. Resources are available in both. But even I would say one thing, resources in the public sector are more advanced even than the ones which are available in the private one, imagine.
Okay.
Because it is being funded by the government. And so here, education is a cornerstone for, let's say, all the other fields. So it is actually the base that the country is trying to build on, let's say, its economy, its employment, and so on. So regarding students-wise, of course, in the, let's say, public sector, you need to make more efforts with the students because, everything is taught in Arabic, okay? Unlike the private where everything is taught in English. So for example, let's say the public sector students, they are being exposed to English language only during the English period, which is not the case in private sector where students are being exposed to English language all the periods except, of course, Arabic and Islamic. So I would say each one of them has its advantages, and I won't say advantages. I would say has, let's say, its pros and cons. Let's say it's good things and bad things. But again, I believe that teaching should happen in any place, regardless if it's private, if it's public, if it's, for example, even online tutoring, if it's teaching in an institute. Okay, we should be able actually to do our work as teachers, regardless, of course, the place and regardless the students, because this is our own message in life. As teachers, we are not only teachers, we are mentors, we are facilitators, we're sometimes psychologists, we're mothers, fathers. Okay, yeah, we're actually, we are, you are actually wearing the hat, okay, our different hats during the your school day. Sometimes you need to act as a nurse, right or not? Sometimes you need to act, for
Yes.
example, as a mother. Sometimes you need to act as a psychologist. You need to listen to
Such a kid.
students. Yeah, exactly. So actually, you feel yourself that you're trying to put all of these, professions together, and this is, I would say, the essence and the beauty of teaching. But at the same time, it's becoming overwhelming. So this is why I think that, um, let's say educational institutions should take care of teachers and their well-being, because we are not only teachers. We're mentors, we're facilitators, we're doing more than one job within, let's say, our school day. Sometimes, you need even to mentor them after school hours. So you feel that always you're busy.
Yes, it's beautifully said. Yes, teachers should be appreciated more, just
Yeah,
like what you
exactly.
said. We do
Yeah.
lots of things at the same time. So, yeah. And regarding what you have said as well, that you're not only an educator and a teacher,
Mm.
also we're going to talk about your roles in leadership. So the leadership section, we can say. So how do you personally, we can say, define educational leadership, and how is it different than just being a facilitator or a teacher?
Okay, now each role that you're taking, let's say in any institution, I would say should be defined from a humanitarian point of view. This is important. So whenever you're talking about a leader, you're talking about a human being, right?
Right.
So you should take care of the people that you're, let's say, working with. Always, I keep telling my team that I'm not your leader. I'm not your boss. I am part of your team. We are one team. So we're being, if any good thing is happening, that means it's going to affect every one of us. And if any, let's say, reward is being, let's say, achieved, that means we're going to celebrate it, all of us as a team. This is important. Okay, because when we're talking about, let's say, leadership roles, unfortunately, this concept or leadership itself, the concept, is being misunderstood by many leaders around the world. You know what? So what's happening is that leaders, okay, or school leaders in general, they think that, okay, I got the position, so I need now to start acting as a boss. Well, this is actually wrong, and this is a misconception. When you are a leader, you have to be a servant, you have to be a transformative leader, you have also to be a transactional one, you have to act in a distributed way. So you're going actually to act depending on the situation. And since you're dealing with people, you have actually to elevate those people with you, because without them, you are nothing. I'll give you just a very, let's say, small example that actually happened with me. Now, one of
Okay.
my team, okay, wasn't convinced of the importance, of progressing her studies. And, she was telling me it's okay. I'm okay with whatever I have. And she's actually teaching English, but her certificate is not related to English at all. And so I was encouraging her, you have to study education. You have to do something in the educational field. She was telling me, oh, I think I don't need it. I'm okay with it. Later on, after I pushed her and I showed her that she can do many magic things with education and whatever, she's now pursuing her master's degree and she's now in her second year.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's important when you are a leader, you need to empower the people that you're leading. It's not the case of just I'm your leader and I'm so scared that you're going to replace me or to take my place. Let them even lead. Sometimes I'm giving them the lead. I'm telling them it's okay. It's your time to decide what you have to do. So you shouldn't, for example, come to me and ask me about every detail, okay, that I need to make a decision about. You should be the one. You should be the one who is taking decision. It's important also to, let them help you in decision-making process. This is important. For example, if you're going to take the decision solely by yourself, you're going to face lots of consequences, and most of these consequences are undesired ones. So whenever, for example, you're telling them, okay, listen, we need to do 1 and 2 and 3. So what do you think? Listening to different points of view, that would actually, ignite your curiosity, and it will open new doors for you. You will start thinking in a different way. By the way, the same thing should be followed with your students. Even if you are a teacher within the classroom, always you have to convince the students and tell them why we're doing this. If you're not giving or not telling them the reason why we're doing this, they're not going to do it.
Of course.
Especially, this generation, we're talking about Z and Alpha generation. If you're not convincing them, you're telling them why we're doing this and what are the consequences if we are not doing this, they won't do it. So it's similar even with the grown-ups. You have always to provide them with reasons why we're doing it now, and you have also to be fully responsible for everything that's happening, especially in front, for example, of people who are higher than you. They are higher, in the hierarchy. So this is important. So I feel that empowering your team is very important and it's essential, especially in our let's say, era. At the same time, also taking care of their well-being, because as we mentioned earlier, teachers are human beings, and we are wearing different hats. We are doing many professions within one profession. So we should be celebrated. So, for example, sometimes maybe you will start laughing. Sometimes, just giving them a bar of chocolate, telling them thank you, or hoping that your day is hoping that you will have a beautiful day, and just leaving, a card with smiley face or whatever would make their day. So imagine sometimes simple things, okay, will do the magic.
Yeah, of course. Keep them motivated the whole time. That's true. Just like you said, a bar of chocolate will do the magic.
Yeah.
And also, of course, you have mentioned the great qualities of a great leader. So that's really impressive, by the way. And I really liked when you have said that I don't have to think that this teacher might replace me. No, I should help this teacher and encourage them to do better. So that's really insightful. So yes, amazing. So if we want to talk about leadership as well, but nowadays when we have
Mm.
AI and all of these things, so how do you balance your vision? Okay, with the for innovation, we can say, with the practical challenges of implementation of this vision.
Okay, now, first of all, the vision should be clarified from the early beginning when you become a leader. But this vision, I won't tell you that it should be a rigid one. No, it should be actually exposed to changes depending, let's say, on the changes that we can see around us. And you mentioned one of these changes, which are going, let's say, to change the whole world. And it is actually, they are changing the whole world, which are the AI tools. Okay, now, as a leader and as an educator, I believe that AI tools, okay, will be the future. I know many people will be against me. I know many people do not have the same, let's say, point of view. However, being an AI trainer as well and AI certified educator, I would tell you AI, let's say, implementing and leveraging the use of AI tools is essential, whether we agree or not. If you just look at the world around us, okay, you can see AI is playing a significant role in all the fields that we can see. In education, it's still at its early stages, I would say. But for example, if you look at the economic field, if you look, for example, if we look at the health field, if we're looking, for example, at, let's say, in the field of industry, we can see that AI is being used a lot in these fields. So if we come back to the educational field, it is essential actually to integrate it. Now, regarding leadership and AI, it's very important to express for your team members the importance, or why do you believe that AI tools are important? Okay, because when you, as I mentioned earlier, when you convince them and when you teach them, this is also important. When you teach them how to use these AI tools effectively, okay, you will actually make a great progress. You mentioned a very good point, which is innovation. Now, many people, okay, think about innovation as bringing something new to the field, which is, of course, again, it's a misconception. No, sometimes you can actually innovate by using something that is already available, but you're using it in a different way. So this is what's happening with AI. AI was there, okay? It has been there since 1960s. Imagine. So from the 60s, it's there. But it wasn't, let's say, that celebrated. It wasn't, let's say, taken into importance. No one thought of them as, let's say, important tools because they were ignored during that time. Since we had, the technology, we had internet, so no one talked about them. And since they needed, or they, let's say, they needed internet access, so no one even cared about them. I'll give you just a similar example. Remember when the calculator has been invented? How did math teachers deal with it? Okay, there was a revolution around the world against the calculator. Yeah, and even mathematicians started saying, "Oh, that will make students dumb, and students won't be able to calculate, and they won't be able to use their mental math and whatever." But you see now, they are still
Everyone's using.
using their brains, okay, and they are doing even mental math. So the same thing is happening with AI. Just because it's a new concept, it's a new propaganda, it's a new cutting edge, that doesn't mean it's going to harm us or it's going to do us any harm. It depends on how do we use it. Now, again, regarding leadership, even AI tools can, let's say, make leadership tasks easier. Okay, and for example, instead of doing some administrative work or some work that I need to do it, I can just ask AI tools to make it for me. And just I'll give you a very short example. If I have, for example, let's say a minute of meeting, and I want everyone to be aware of what we have discussed, I can ask just gamma.ai, okay, to create for me PowerPoint presentation by uploading the Word document, okay, in which I have written the minutes of meeting. And of course, I need to revise it just to check everything is correct in terms of conventions, grammar, content, whatever. And I can just forward it to everyone.
Sure,
Even
it
if,
saves time.
yeah, even if there are, let's say, some points which are a little bit convoluted or complicated, I can just create a chatbot. And so anyone, for example, after the meeting can just chat with this GPT or chatbot or whatever, and they would be able to understand anything that they didn't get from the meeting. So I think that the future is for AI, and it's going to complete its development whether we agree or not. But is it going
Sure.
to replace us? I don't think so.
It
No,
depends on the way that we use it.
exactly.
We should use it, of course, carefully. And it's really nice that you have mentioned examples related to leadership. Now, can you also name for us AI generative tools that you believe are most beneficial for teachers as well?
Yeah. You have first, of course, and the king, I would call it. Okay. It is ChatGPT. I have tried many AI tools. Yeah, I have tried many AI tools. Yeah, I would call it the king of the kings because it is the king. So it is the best one so far. You have, of course, other generative AI tools. You have Copilot, for example. You have Gemini, but still, ChatGPT is the dominant one. They are developing it in a rapid way, more than you can imagine. So every day you have a kind of a new, let's say, add-in that is being added to it. You cannot imagine also how you can, for example, put all of the other, let's say, AI tools in one place under ChatGPT. We have also, if we're going to talk about the educational ones, we have magicschool.ai, we have edcafe.ai, we have also things which are related to the English language, for example. We have Write and Improve that would help students to write during, let's say, the IELTS exam. We have, for example, Grammarly that would help you to check your mistakes, whether spelling, whether punctuation, so your convention in general, and it will improve the coherence and the cohesion. You have also storylab.ai, novel.ai. Those would help you to create novels and stories for your students. These are, of course, some of the AI tools. If we are going to mention all of them, we will need hours to finish,
True.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, that's such an interesting intake.
Mm.
Take. So I really love the balance that you said between innovation and purpose, and how can we use these AI tools to save time and, of course, not replace us at the same time.
No, they won't.
So
Don't worry. Don't worry. They won't.
yes, it's true. Lots of people think that it would replace us in the future, and they are really afraid of using it. It's true. Lots of people don't use it until now. Really afraid of it.
Unfortunately,
Yeah,
I would say they
yeah.
lost a
We
lot.
need to encourage
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Yes, to save their time and their efforts as well. in something else. So yes, I agree with you. And also, of course, as a female leader in education, your journey is, of course, an inspiration for lots of female educators around the world. And if I want you to give me an advice, okay, to the women teachers, okay, that are aspiring to step into leadership roles, what would it be?
It would be nothing is impossible. Um, just try to find the right place for yourself and work on yourself a lot, educate yourself, and you will reach your goal. This is very important for all women around, let's say, the globe. Now, I understand that still women in leadership are facing many obstacles around the world. But the good thing, and it's good to know from studies, okay, oh, this is something I have read, that the let's say the number of women who are stepping into leadership positions is increasing, which is a very, let's
Yes,
say,
congratulations.
insightful. Yeah, it's a very insightful, let's say, insight over here. So always, and you should know one thing: if you are a determined person, you're going to achieve your goal. So nothing is impossible for a woman if she has the potential, if she has, let's say, the education, if she has the charisma, everything would be done easily. And the most important thing, you should actually put all of the factors together. The education, okay, so try to elevate your certificates. At the same time, try to work on your personality, and even try to embrace new and novel, innovative teaching strategies. Because as any leader, you start at the beginning as a teacher, and then gradually, okay, you will go
Step
into
by step.
leadership positions. Yeah, and you have to wait, because patience here is a key. Um, it won't be an easy journey. You would have, let's say, obstacles here and there. Sometimes it's from the place that you're working in. Sometimes could be, from the environment around you, from the surroundings around you. You would have some people who are going to depress you, to tell you that you won't be able to do it. Okay, to just think, to belittle you. Forget about all of these, let's say, pessimistic voices around you, and just believe in yourself. So that would be my advice to all women.
That's truly empowering to hear, by the way. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. And I really hope that all the ladies and the females, or all around the world, if it's in education or other fields, that just like what you said, to be patient enough to reach their goals and their dreams, hopefully, in no time.
We hope so.
Okay, so Europe, hopefully. So, as we look, of course, at your impressive career. It's clear that your journey continues to inspire teachers, just like what we have said. And if we want to talk about now, what are the current projects or initiatives that are you most excited about?
Okay. For me, for example, this is a dream, but I hope inshallah it will become true. My dream is to actually start working on an AI policy for education, because it's not available. Any country that's telling you, okay, we have a separate AI policy in education, unfortunately, these AI policies are still at their early stages, and they are not explicit, as they are included within other fields. These are all the AI, let's say, policies which are available in the world have in common. So we don't have a specialized policy or a comprehensive one for education. So hopefully, I will do my best within these 2 years, inshallah, but after I finish my dissertation, to craft an AI policy in education that can be implemented, and not only it will be, within the books. So this is one of the things that I'm thinking of. Yeah. Another thing is that I will, of course, try to publish more articles regarding AI in education, and how to integrate AI in learning, especially languages, English and other languages, whether it's English, whether Arabic or anything. Because again, when we want to learn another language, it's too hard for students or too hard for anyone to start learning another language because, let's be honest here, because of the cost of the courses which are available. So if AI tools can provide us with, let's say, the same courses, even if there is a minimum fee that's going to be affordable for everyone, that would be a great thing. So these are, inshallah, two of the most, let's say, important projects for me. But the first one is too dear to me, and I'm thinking about it continuously. That I want to try to create a policy, a comprehensive one, a unified one that's going to be embraced by many countries, that will regulate the use of AI in a way where ethics are going to be, or ethics is going to be preserved and, let's say, taken care of. So hopefully I would be able to achieve it very soon.
Hopefully, I really hope so. And I really you achieve it. And after you do that, we have another talk to talk about it, of course.
Of course, of
Hopefully
course.
in the near future.
Who knows? Yeah, this is all. This is, this is my biggest dream. Hopefully, it will turn into a reality. No one knows. Hopefully, no.
Hopefully, I really hope so. Yeah, and I agree with you. I think it's very important to be done.
Yeah.
So hopefully you would manage it and tell us about it, of course. Hopefully
Sure.
in the near future.
Sure. We'll be the first ones who know about it, so don't worry.
Yes. I appreciate it. Okay. So in this case, I'm really impressed also that you talked about how important to use AI in teaching languages. I just want to get your opinion about this. So as you know, we have a lot of platforms nowadays like Duolingo, Elsa, others as well. So do you think they would replace a real teacher? Now, I think some people might find it like easier to learn a language using their mobile phone, talking to these AI generative tools, than just attending a session to a real teacher with a real teacher. What do you think about that?
Let me just be clear here. AI tools won't replace human beings. No way. Okay, because as we mentioned earlier, people are social creatures. Okay, so we need each other. Otherwise, okay, we could have learned many things just by using technology. Just we will go back to 2020 when we started teaching online, right? Remember, students were taught online for around 1.5 years to 2 years. What happened when students came back to schools? Can you remember that period of time? When students came back to school, they felt that there is something strange. They couldn't even, talk properly. They till now we're suffering. They couldn't even write properly because they got used to just, type, and that's it. So no way that these tools are going to replace teachers. I agree with you. They are more convenient in terms, for example, let's say, of accessibility, because you can access them anytime. In terms, even, they are more affordable to an extent, let's say, than, for example, a personalized tutor or a special tutor. If we are thinking about, let's say, money-wise. But these tools won't replace us. We need that human touch. We need that, we need these feelings to emerge to the surface. If you keep talking to a machine, finally you will realize that this machine doesn't have any feelings. And so that would make you even more depressed. But this is something that we experienced before during the COVID era. Many students, even many teachers, were suffering from depression. And the depression levels were too high within these 2 years. Many people, unfortunately, were visiting psychologists and shrinks during that time, especially after the COVID era. And so it's too hard to live without this human communication and without this human, let's say, feelings, and to be alone by yourself, just, chatting to a machine or whatever. And even now, if we look at, just away from AI, if we look at robots, okay, if we look at robots, Many people, for example, started, using these robots at their homes as their maids or as their helpers or whatever in some companies or whatever. You can feel there is something missing. Okay, there is something missing. Even there were many movies which were created about, let's say, these robots and how they are going, for example, to act as human beings and whatever. In most of the movies, the endings were tragic ones.
Dramatic.
Yeah, were tragic ones. Either they are trying to destroy the humans, or, for example, or whatever. I will give you another example. Think about Tesla cars, okay? Because these are somehow robot cars, right? So they are automated cars. How many Tesla cars, were not working properly just because, of the machinery inside them wasn't working properly or whatever. And here, even around the world, police, okay, have to interfere in order, to stop these cars or to protect, let's say, their drivers from tragical accidents. So again, no, never. These things won't replace us, but they would be a kind of a help. And for example, if anyone is doing a kind of tutoring, you can, for example, teach that student, okay, face to face, and then you will give them, let's say, a kind of a task to do using these platforms. That would be a very nice combination between, let's say, the machine and between the human touch. But other than that, I don't think these things are going to replace us. But we should be able to know how to use them. This is important because, as teachers, we need always to educate ourselves. Again, let's go back to the COVID era. The technological issues were, let's say, so new for us, and we couldn't even at the beginning deal with it successfully. But later on, we became experts on that. So I believe that we need to train ourselves on integrating these tools with our, let's say, on human teaching. And so everything's going to be great. Yeah.
True. Yeah, we should embrace the new
Yeah,
technology and
exactly.
start using it, but wisely, of
Yeah,
course, like what you've said. And for me, yeah, I agree with you. It would never replace humans. So yeah, it's nice that we have clarified this. So thank you so much, Dr. Rasha, for sharing your insights and experience and vision with us today. Your
you're
reflections
welcome.
remind us that leadership in education isn't about, for example, just like we said, being bossy, maybe telling orders and things like
No,
that.
no,
No, it's
no.
about
It's
inspiration, empowerment,
empowering,
and
empowering
impact.
others, empowering
Yes.
others. This is important. Yeah.
True. Yes. So, to all of our listeners today, thank you for tuning in the TalentHut TESOL Academy Teachers podcast. Stay connected for more inspiring conversations with educators all around the world and leaders shaping the future of teaching. I'm Nofakad, and thank you again. So, thank you again, also, Dr. Rasha.
Thank you. I appreciate so much. And thank you for having me. And it's been a great pleasure to be with you.
Me
Thank,
too.
thank you.
I'm really honored to have met you, and it has been very nice. Okay, and
Likewise.
you have given us very nice AI generative tools, examples, the qualities of a true leader. So it was really inspirational.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate so much. Thank you for
Thank,
everything. Thank you.
thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye
Bye.
bye.